Assalamualaikum and greetings to all my respected friends and the lecturer. When we discuss the success of a business or organization, we are sure to think of profit and productivity result at a certain time. However, have we ever thought about the extent to which have the delegation and operation of a company have a hard impact on the whole? Therefore, I would like to discuss a topic that is increasingly important today: leadership and values, building a green workplace culture. The main objective of my study was to determine how a company's leadership style and value system can be combined and integrated. The result of this study show how these two components can function as the main catalyst for creating a good environmental and workplace culture. Let's examine the conceptual framework of this study to see how this paradigm shift occur. In this case, it is divided into two, namely green leadership, which influences the direction of the organization, and ecological values, which act as a moral guide for decision making. When these two factors combine, a result known as green workplace culture will be obtained and every employee practice in their daily culture. Let's look at this issue from the perspective of leadership in a company. A study was found from an article by Cao et al. 2026 found that the most effective strategy is green transformational leadership. What is being said is leaders should set an example and role model rather than using force or violence on others. By setting an example, other employees will imitate and practice willingly. Through the psychological process of observing and imitating, process gradually change their behavior to support the company objective. I was talking about leadership earlier, so what is the impact of this leadership on the culture in the company? It is related. A recent empirical report by Gao et al. 2026 has answered the question convincingly. The study concluded that employee behavior is not directly or automatically changed by green leadership. Instead, green organizational culture is an important mediating factor. In other words, the main task of a leader is to create an environmentally sustainable workplace. Employee motivation and work engagement will automatically increase after this culture environment is established and developed, thus naturally advancing the company green goals. The second component is values. Sustainable concept as an environmental responsibility are often just slogans in the workplace without being put into practice. However, according to a study by Mardi Kadingsi and Rajawani 2025, leaders need to be actively involved in implementing this principle. Leaders need to transform difficult to understand ideas into simple and practical action so that employees can implement this consistently. Adaptive organizational systems are needed to support this change. To make it successful, leaders need to provide appropriate digital and physical facilities. For example, using a completely paperless system or implementing a reward program to recognize green ideas suggested by employees. In conclusion, developing a green workplace culture necessitates a comprehensive commitment as opposed to a piecemeal or seasonal strategy. I suggest 3P strategy as a practical roadmap for organizational leaders based on the principle covered today. First, practice according to the Cao et al. 2026 study in order to initiate the wash and copy effect amongst employees. Leader must act as ultimate role model. Second, policy. To promote trust and responsibility, we must immediately incorporate green principle into KPI and the green HRM framework, according to Altazan 2025 study. Third culture, to guarantee the long-term sustainability of pro-environmental behavior, significant effort must be concentrated on developing a sustainable organizational climate according to the finding of Gao et al. 2026. Ultimate, leading by example, backed by an adaptive system, is the only way forward. Thank you.